Hey friends, this is Lydia Epic from Oily Excellence, and today we're talking about unboxing your premium starter kit. There's all sorts of individual pieces that may feel a little bit overwhelming at first, so part of what we're going to do is we're going to just walk through it piece by piece. First of which is the diffuser. In fact, when people are trying to figure out whether or not they want to get a basic membership or the premium starter kit, which comes with your 11 or 12 oils and a diffuser, as well as lifetime membership, I always recommend to go with the premium starter kit because you get the diffuser. The diffuser in and of itself is about $70, and getting that with the kit, it's just a fraction of that cost. So with the diffuser, the one that I typically recommend, if you're wanting to choose between the Dewdrop diffuser and the Desert Mist diffuser, is a Desert Mist. I, of course, like the design, but then I also like that the square footage output is much higher on the Desert Mist than it is with a Dewdrop. So if you have a larger space, Desert Mist is the one that you would definitely want to go with. Its output range, or its output size, is good for a 30 square meter space. So think about 270 square feet. So it's a pretty good size room. So when you're using your diffuser and you get it out of your box, it's going to come as your beautiful diffuser piece, and then it's also going to have your cord, and the cord is going to be in a separate little box. So you open up that box, get out the cord, and when you attach it, you want to do this without filling it up first, because you'll see that it actually attaches to the bottom, not to the side of the diffuser. So you have your intake, your fan here, and then you have that connecting port. Once you get it in there and it's nice and firmly pushed in, then you'll be able to just have it to sit nicely, to just turn out to the side, and there you go. So now you have your diffuser ready to rock. So when you're setting this diffuser up in terms of filling it up, you only want to use room temperature water. So tap water is fine, spring water is fine, distilled water is totally fine. But you don't want to use hot, you don't want to use from the refrigerator. Room temperature is where you want to go. And so when you're filling it up, you're going to take off this beautiful decorative lid. And then you also have this misting portion as well. So you want to take that off and keep that off to the side here. And on the inside, this is where you have your ultrasonic plate there at the bottom. So that's what's going to cause the water and the essential oil molecules to become atomized. Okay, so it's acting as your atomizer, and that's what's going to release the scent into the air. So it's acting as a humidifier as well as an atomizer in your aromatic diffusing. Okay, so there is a little line, I don't know how well you can see it on here, but there's a little line. You can actually feel it with your finger when you're on the inside of this, right on that lip lid, and that is where you want to raise your water no higher than. Okay, so that's your water line. Don't want to go any higher than that. If you do, you're going to have problems with your diffuser running properly. So we're going to go ahead and get some water, and we're going to pour it on in. Keeping in mind we don't want it to go above that line. Yep, we're in good shape. And then from there, I can choose whatever oils I would like. I always recommend putting your water in first and then adding in your oils. So my little people are a little bit crazed today. So we're going to use some lavender. And I might actually pop in some stress away a little bit later. Okay, when you're getting started with oils, if they're completely new for you, I recommend start low and slow. So what that means is you only just want to do a drop or two of each of your oils. So you want to do no more than 3 to 5 oils in your diffuser. Now, the booklet will mention 8 to 10. That would be if you really wanted to amp up a scent. For now, just start off low, really just stretch it out, and as you desire to, if you want to add more, you can totally go for it. So there is lavender, and there's stress away. Good stuff. Oh, love the smell of stress away. So before I close this up, I want to make sure to put on my misting lid. So if you see in the misting lid, it has a little kind of notched portion that's going to match the notched portion on your diffuser base. So you're going to just make sure that that's turned and properly clicked in so that'll align nicely. And that lets you know that you're not going to have any leakage from when the humidifier is running. Okay, so when this diffuser starts up, you're not going to have any water coming out all over the place. So if you've been running into that, check the way that your lid is secured to make sure it's in the proper place. So once that's done and that's in place, then we can take our beautiful top decorative portion and put that on. And now we are ready to go. Now you have 2 buttons on your diffuser. I'll turn it here so you can see it. So you have this button on the left. This is going to be for turning off and on the diffuser. And then the button on the right is going to be for your different light settings. So once you turn the diffuser on, you have 3 different diffusing modes. Okay, so your first mode, once you turn it on, is going to be high. So it's going to be a high amount of oils and water that's going to be atomized and placed in the air. That runs for about 5 to 6 hours. You press that button again and it's going to move it into low mode. So that's going to be for about 8 hours. And then you press that button one more time and that's going to put it into intermittent mode. So it means it's going to run for a minute, 60 seconds, and then it'll be off for a minute, 60 seconds. And once you put it in that mode, that's when you're getting that 10 hours of continuous runtime. Assuming, of course, that it's completely filled and depending on what kinds of oils that you're using. So those are your 3 different modes. For right now, with the way my folk are going, we're just going to run it on high. Okay. So you can already see that beautiful aromatic plume going. And there's no need to be concerned of, oh my goodness, is it hot? Is it? No, it is completely fine. Totally acceptable, and it's mistable, and it's wonderful. If this feels like too high of a load for you, again, you can just press that button again. And it's going to just lessen it, so it's not going to be as strong, but it's still going to be a nice presence of that scent in the room, okay? Now, with your different light options, once you turn it on, you're going to be in this full light mode. You have 11 different light settings on this diffuser. So you have your full light, you have a dimmed white light, you have candle flicker mode, which is super pretty, and then you have your different colors. So you have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, kind of a darker blue, and then lavender, and then it's off. Okay, so you can go through and check out all the different colors that are available. And that's right, I forgot to mention, one of the modes that you have is this mode. So this is right after candle flicker mode, where it will stay on one color for about 5 seconds, and then it'll switch to the next color. So it's a very gentle movement through the rainbow colors in this setting. If at any point in time you're wanting to just cut off the light, so you're not wanting it to function basically as a night light, you can just simply hold and press that light button and it's going to turn it off and you're done. Okay. If you decide that you want the light back on, it's going to go right back to whatever mode it was on before you turned it off. Okay. So I'm going to do that. Excellent. So I'm going to put you right here. I like that one. Okay. So that's how this works. So at this point, this is going to continue and run until it finishes off. If at some point, for whatever reason, I decide that I would like to change out what's in the diffuser and it still hasn't emptied out yet, that's totally fine. You have a way to do that. What you would do, turn this off here. There we go. What you would do in that case is you would take off your decorative lid, you would open up this misting portion, and when you pour out the water to change out whatever you're diffusing, you want to make sure that you pour away from this notched lid area. You want to pour in the opposite direction. So you want to pour to this side. So not where the notch is, away. It's the opposite of that notch. And that'll allow you to be able to switch out whatever you're diffusing. If you decide to switch the blends that you're working with, it's always a wise idea to take a little wash rag or a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol on it or some sort of a neutral spirit, vodka works too, and you just wipe that little aromatic plate, that atomizing plate at the bottom, just clean that off so that way you don't have any buildup on that plate. Because the same way that you would have all your different scents to start to sit on top of each other, it can become a bit of a mess, and no one wants that. Here we go. So now that I have this all back and set up, I think I'm going to just turn this back on. I'm going to put it in this mode. I'm going to put it right back to the color that I had it on before. Beautiful. So that is how your diffuser works in a nutshell. If you have any other questions with how the diffuser works, why it is that I recommend using Young Living diffusers, and how to get started with having your own membership with Young Living, I'd love to chat with you and help you out. You can find my contact information below. And if you're interested in more of these videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel and we will be here sharing all the wonderful goodies that we do in our home to keep ourselves healthy and happy and well.